G'day, this is Peter Anthony and talking to you as professional marketers in senior roles and thinking, well, you are the CEO, you are the Chief Emotion Officer in your organisation because you own the brands. And when you think of your role as Chief Emotion Officer, the best tool you have at your disposal is stories, and using stories to really maximise that brand footprint, both internally and externally. But how valuable are stories? Now, when I think about the value of stories, the best story I can think of is one of Robert Walker and his significant object study. What he did was something really interesting. He went to various thrift stores in the US and bought 200 random items, everything from a plastic banana right through to a ceramic horse's head. And he bought these items for a total of $197. Then he did something really interesting. He asked colleagues of his, fellow journalists and writers, to write stories about each of these items. So he had the story, he had the item, then he sold the items on eBay, the item along with the story. And what he found was he sold those items for a total of over $8,000. So it went from $197 right through to over $8,000. And you could say that difference was the difference the story made. So we know stories have real commercial value. And as marketers, it's incumbent upon you to really emotionally engage with internal and external audiences on your brands. So why don't we tell more stories? In our personal lives, it's estimated we spend about 70% of our time telling stories. Listening to stories, telling stories, watching movies, watching Netflix or Stan and our favorite shows. But when we get to work, less than 10% of the time we spend telling stories. So why is that so? Now, when I ask that question of marketers in programs I've run in over 10 years in over 12 different countries, I get the same sort of answers. I get answers like, Peter, I don't know how to collect stories. I'm not sure how to do that. Or I'm not sure how to craft a story to really give it a structure and a really logical sequence. Or I'm not sure really how to connect with people using storytelling elements when I haven't got a whole story to tell. Or finally, when I get really honest answers, it's I haven't got the courage to tell stories at work or outside work. So I'm taking the best of what I've learned over the past 10 years teaching storytelling to senior marketing executives and putting those ideas in this video series. I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, this is Peter Anthony saying bye for now, tell more stories.